Saturdays on Fox.
Well, we are finally going to play some baseball. Game 3 of this ALDS, and Jack Flaherty will get the call for the Tigers as the series shifts to Detroit, all tied at 1 against Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners, who had a big game-winning double in Game 2 to even this series. And a good pitching matchup as well, as Logan Gilbert facing the Tigers for the 3rd time this year. He's been good the last 2 starts. And so we will play some baseball in a decisive Game 3 in this best-of-5. And we say welcome. Maybe almost 3 hours late because of the rain, but we're going to play some ball. And for those of you who are about to watch the Mariners-Tigers game on FS1, you will see it only for the next hour. And that's because the Blue Jays-Yankees game will start at 8 Eastern right here on FS1. So if you want to see the Mariners-Tigers game 3 in its entirety, you should watch it on FS2, MLB Network, and/or the Fox One app. All right, there you go. Baseball, and away we go as we get closer to first pitch in Detroit. And the guys calling it now, Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, and A.J. Pierzynski. Fellas.
Take a break, KB. We'll welcome you to Game 3 of the 2025 American League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com. They are finally ready to go for this crucial swing Game 3 of this ALDS between the AL West champion Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers, the wild card out of the American League Central. Inside the broadcast booth with the World Series champs, Adam Wainwright, A.J. Pierzynski. Tom Verducci will join us in a moment as well. I'm Adam Amin. So we talk about star power in the postseason. Well, Julio Rodriguez has played like a star in this series and has played like a star the entire second half. He's played like a star against the Tigers.
He has owned the Tigers in the last 5 games, and it got his second half off to a jump start. July 11th through 13th, he played here at Comerica Park. 6 for 12, 3 homers. And then in the first 2 games against the Tigers, 4 for 9 with a home run, and the game-winning double in the second game of this series. The Tigers, if they want to advance, get to the LCS, they've handled Cal Raleigh nicely, kept him in the park so far. They've got to figure out a way to slow down Julio.
We again talk about star power, and for the Tigers, top half of their lineup, they've got all this slug, right? But you probably have to see some more of it coming up, and in particular from Riley Green.
Yeah, remember that book, Where's Waldo, when we were growing up? Well, the Tiger fans are wondering, where's Riley? This is one of the greatest sluggers in the entire game of baseball. Regular season this year, 36 home runs, 111 RBIs. This series, though, so far, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs. If the Tigers' offense is going to get clicking, they're going to need Riley Green to drive in runs, get on base, make some things happen.
That sets the stage for tonight's same-game parlay. It's available for all of you now on FanDuel. And for the Tigers, this is the first time that these home fans are actually going to see their team play in this ballpark. For more, we go down to the field and Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Adam. Welcome to homecoming night in Detroit. The Tigers last played at home 16 days ago after they covered 3 cities, 11 games, and more than 5,000 miles. Now, their first order of business, besides laundry, generating offense. This team scored just 2.6 runs per game on that road trip and had trouble putting the ball in play. And that is the key issue tonight. The Tigers were 4th in the American League in most strikeouts, and tonight they face Logan Gilbert, who among all pitchers who threw 100 innings has the highest strikeout rate in baseball. Adam?
Excellent strikeout pitcher matchup tonight between Logan Gilbert and Jack Flaherty, who met on July the 13th in that 3-game series right before the All-Star break here at Comerica Park. Dan Wilson got his first playoff victory as Seattle manager in Game 2. Of course, the Seattle Mariners Hall of Famer, inducted 13 years ago alongside his longtime battery mate Randy Johnson. His first full season as Mariners manager, and Julio Rodriguez, as is customary, says hello to the family as he prepares for this contest. He, Cal Raleigh, and Jorge Polanco have combined for 11 hits, 3 homers, and a couple of doubles. The rest of the team is just 3 for 44 in the first couple of games of this playoff series. So the support from Polanco and his 2 home runs in Game 2 went a long way. Mariners hoping for a little bit more. Jack Flaherty leads the Tigers out onto the field at Comerica. Jack Flaherty lives for these moments, he says. He's loved the pressure that comes in a big game scenario. Of course, pitched in the World Series last year, made 5 playoff starts for the Los Angeles Dodgers after he had been traded from Detroit. You know Jack well, Wayno. Give me a sense of what we should see tonight.
Jack is one of the ultimate competitors, ultra prepared. He's been working for this. He lives for this kind of stuff. Has a pretty good fastball nowadays, 91, 95 miles an hour. It's going to throw some curveballs and sliders. We're going to see an array of breaking balls from Jack today, I think, against this great Mariners lineup.
He is the most experienced starter in terms of playoff appearances on this Detroit Tigers roster. This will be his 11th career start. And as the rain has subsided, the sun is setting. It always sets a little bit later in the state of Michigan. And that is the case tonight, leaving a beautiful backdrop here at Comerica Park. Here is the Tigers defense. Just one error in the postseason so far. That came from their shortstop, Javi Baez. Green, Meadows, and Carpenter left to right. McKinstry, Baez, Torres, and Torkelson around the infield. And a very good defensive catcher, one of the best in baseball behind the plate in Dylan Dingler. Quite the juxtaposition between Dan Wilson in his first full season as manager and A.J. Hinch, who has been around the block a few times to say the least. His 12th season as a major league manager, seeking his 1,000th career win between the regular season and playoffs tonight. And Randy Arozarena climbs in against Flaherty and this home crowd in Detroit. Former St. Louis minor league teammates Jack Flaherty and Randy Arozarena. Arozarena has taken Flaherty deep twice in his career. Off we go in game 3. Arozarena 1 for 8 in the set so far. He has the lone stolen base in this series as well. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Two-strike offering. Back towards Flaherty, off of his glove, bounces to the second baseman Torres. The throw is not in time. A.J. Hinch has a hand up from the Detroit Tiger dugout. We'll see if there is any thought of a challenge here. And he's indeed going to ask for it right out of the gate.
It's the playoffs, Adam. Ain't messing around. They're not saving it for later. It's the first hitter of the first inning. They must have a good feeling.
Major league average for success is about 55%.
Detroit is challenging the safe call at first base.
A.J. Hinch was at 44% this season. He might have a pretty good shot at winning this one on the first batter of the game.
He looked out in person, I think, right here on this replay. I think he just barely gets him.
Well, that's about as close as you're going to get. Replay review is presented by Zoom. If it does go down as an out, it would be 1-4-3. After Flaherty deflected it to Torres.
Wayno, didn't you teach Jack when you guys played together in St. Louis just to catch it so you didn't have to worry about someone else making the throw?
Yeah, Jack's a good fielder in position, but these sometimes you think these are going a little faster and you react wildly, and it just kind of, it's like a changeup almost. It's right off the end.
Nice play by Torres too to bare hand that ball.
It's impossible to let it go though, Adam, because the one that you let go, it goes right up the middle, and no one was there. You always try to make a play on it as a pitcher.
And of course, Tom Verducci reminded us that Jack Flaherty came up as a shortstop in his high school days as well, along with pitching. So natural defensive instincts, I would imagine, take over.
I love Flaherty's reaction after he touched it and realized it was going to hit the ground. He's like, oh!
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh.
That angle, I think he's out. I don't know why. What else we can see?
What a great play.
Alan Porter is our crew chief tonight.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. The court will retain the second count.
After all that, Torres with a nice job with his bare hand. He improved his defense this year after coming over from the Yankees.
Well, he set his feet so nicely right there. He knew he had to bare-handed. He set his feet, which let him square his shoulders and throw it perfect. And then A.J. Hinch, of course, is excited. Even though it's only one out, it's a big out.
Keeps Arozarena off the base paths for Cal Raleigh, who comes to the plate with the bases empty. First pitch swinging. Raleigh sends it out to right. And Carpenter has it for the second out.
Got that ball in him, on him just enough. You can see first two batters coming out hot on the first pitch, ready to swing.
And 4 pitches, 4 swings so far for the Mariners. And now here's Julio Rodriguez, who homered off of Flaherty back on July the 13th. And therefore a strike. Take a look at Fox Foresight. It's powered by Google Cloud. Pretty good chance that Rodriguez will record an RBI. Excellent numbers this season and good so far in this series with 3 driven in. 0-2 and a chance for Flaherty to finish off a 1-2-3 first. Oh, 2 pitch. In the dirt. Here's the first ball dealt by Flaherty. 1-2 on Julio Rodriguez.
I suspect the Tigers are going to attack those breaking balls away from him today rather than just keeping on doing the same stuff, challenging him in.
1-2. No. Did he go? He did. Inning over. For Flaherty, now the Tigers come to bat at home, where they were a half-run better than Major League average. They were about a half-run lower than average on the road this season. Change tonight with Kerry Carpenter moving up to the leadoff spot, breaking up Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter. Keith moves up to the number 3 spot. A couple of mixing and matching pairings in the bottom of the order. Baez moves down to 9, Dingler down to 7. They'll face one of the top strikeout pitchers in baseball this year, Logan Gilbert, his second career postseason start. The other was Game 1 of the ALDS against Houston 3 years ago.
You're going to see great stuff today. High-octane fastballs and the best pitch in all of baseball, Logan Gilbert, split.
Carpenter steps in and takes a fastball upstairs. 4 hits in the wild card series against Cleveland. 1 for 8 in this set so far, but the one hit was a big one, the 2-run home run in Game 1, which at the moment gave Detroit the lead. Breaking ball lined on 1 hop to second. That's a second great pick by Polanco we've seen in this set, and he throws out Carpenter for the first out. You talked about it, Waino. That splitter is one of the best pitches in all of Major League Baseball. He used it a couple of years ago to replace his changeup.
Yeah, that was a pretty good change for him right there. This split it's so unique because he throws a hard fastball, 95, 96, but the split is 88 to 82 miles an hour. It's a real big speed variation for a hitter to cover.
Deals to Torres a strike. Torres 4 hits in the postseason so far. He has struck out 7 times. Strikeouts have been a problem for Detroit this year and certainly in the postseason.
No.
They have the 4th highest strikeout rate in Major League Baseball this year. They have struck out about 36% of their at-bats in the first couple of games of this series. 1-1 pitch. Line drive into center field. No strikeout there. Torres with a nice piece of hitting to get aboard with 1 out. He's now 7 for 17 in his career against Logan Gilbert.
Well, I think that's because he doesn't get the split. He gets a slider here. And I think sometimes Logan Gilbert, and most pitchers, Wayno, you can talk to this, but they don't want to throw that right-on-right split because they think it might do damage, but that's your best pitch. That was just a nothing slider that Torres doesn't miss. That's why I think Torres has had so much success. He doesn't have to see the split like the lefties do.
So man aboard for Colt Keith. First pitch swinging, one bounce. Polanco spins a throw to second for one. Crawford will not have the relay. They get the lead runner in Torres. Keith on the fielder's choice is safe, and there are 2 down. So a couple of nice plays by Polanco going to his left.
There's been some balls hit hard, though. The first 3 hitters have all squared it up off Logan Gilbert. That's a good sign if you're a Tigers fan. Listen, Logan Gilbert will strike you out, but he'll give up some homers. He gave up 20 homers this year. His strikeout rate is incredible, but 20 homers in 130 innings is not great.
There's Riley Green, who's seeking a big-time hit. He'll take a strike. Career high 36 homers this year, 111 driven in. And he was really good against breaking balls this year. Hit 14 of his home runs against breaking pitches. That time he goes fishing, and it's 0-2.
There's that big split right there. You see the movement. The bottom just drops right off of it. It's also sometimes going to have huge horizontal movement to the right, and sometimes it moves huge horizontal to the left.
0-2 delivery. And he doubles up on it for strike 3. Both Flaherty and Gilbert with 9-pitch first innings, ending with a strikeout each. Mariners fans have made the 2,300-mile trip to Detroit, but plenty of orange and blue. They've got the orange towels waving tonight here at Comerica Park as we go to a scoreless second inning, and Jorge Polanco leads off against Jack Flaherty.
No.
Just missed the outside edge. Polanco, one of Seattle's heroes in Game 2, with 2 solo blasts off the presumable Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal.
Foul right here.
Not an easy thing to do. In fact, only 4 players have ever done it, and Polanco was the first in 4 years to hit 2 in one game off of Skubal. 26 home runs this season. That was the second most that Polanco has hit in his career. Of course, knows the Tigers well. As you look at Skubal, Polanco, a decade with the Minnesota Twins, had 33 home runs 4 years ago with Minnesota. That was his career high. Breaking ball waved on and missed. 1-2.
That's a big knuckle curve right there. That's a pitch that Jack uses a lot more now than he used to. Used to be fastball slider primarily, but that curveball's moved into the second spot. Second most used pitch in his arsenal.
Quarter of the time he uses it, to an opponent's average of just 205 this season. 1-2 pitch to Polanco.
No.
Doubled up with a breaking ball. 2-2. Flaherty deals. Fastball fouled back. Pretty impressive shots by Polanco, almost to the same spot in Seattle.
One was a slider, one was a fastball, but if you look at the location, they are very similar. And what a huge lift. Everyone went into that game saying, oh, the Tigers have Skubal going, and Polanco said, not so fast.
Another 2-2 pitch. There's the breaking ball for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks from Flaherty. And there's one away in the second.
There's the knuckle curveball. You see his long finger is on there, and then the index is kind of bent up in a knuckle. That's what makes a knuckle curve. And then another one just biting. Started right down the middle. It just breaks right underneath the zone, but it looked good out of the hand. That's why you get a swing.
No.
Josh Naylor climbs in. There was some question about Josh's availability for perhaps even the rest of this series, as he and his wife Chantel were expecting the birth of their first child out in Arizona. Naylor did not travel with the team to Detroit. He traveled separately, but When we asked Dan Wilson how everything went, he did not want to confirm or deny anything, giving Josh the opportunity to speak on the matter. And very understandably so, but all he told us was everything went well. Josh will talk after the game likely. As he takes a strike, it's 1-2. Naylor was not available in the clubhouse to the media before the game. That's why he has not commented on it. We'll leave it as is for he and his family. 1-2 pitch from Flaherty. And he fights off a breaking ball foul.
Wayno, you had a belt like that when you played, didn't you? It said Wayno. Look at that thing. That thing is shiny.
Yeah.
He's got all the swag, man. I'm so jealous of his shoe repertoire and his belt.
Crystal Pantone color tonight, kind of matches the jersey. Taps one out in front of the plate, but it's a foul ball as it was snared by Dingler. Tom Verducci, you're down to the field. What are you seeing from Flaherty's velocity so far?
Yeah, A.J. Hinch has to like it because he said sometimes Jack eases into a game 91, 92. He typically sits 92, 93. We're seeing 94, 95, even a 96, a level he's hit with only 7 pitches this year. He looks strong, and he's throwing more fastballs than usual first time through.
How about that, Tom? Great note. We see this a lot with pitchers in general in the postseason. You guys always talk about the adrenaline dump. It kind of carries you. But again, you see Flaherty's postseason numbers the last few outings, including his game against Cleveland. He seems like he thrives on it, almost tries to control it a little bit better, and you guys talk about how important that is.
Absolutely. Controlling your emotions, slowing the game down, slowing your heartbeat, whatever it is. A.J. Hinch wants him to be fiery, though. He wants him to compete. He knows he's gonna yell and get a little angry sometimes if he doesn't make his pitch, but they're okay with that because it helps him in the long run, they believe.
Another 1-2 pitch to Josh Naylor is fouled back. We saw Jack coming out from the dugout earlier tonight, and kind of customary for him, he's got his glove in front of his face and was kind of yelling at himself and trying to pump himself up. That's pretty common for Jack Flaherty. Josh Naylor fouls another one away. This is a really tough at bat. That's 7 pitches and 5 foul balls from Naylor so far.
Well, it's important right here. Naylor is doing a great job of, he doesn't love the ball down. He's got 4 or 5 pitches he's fouled off. They're all down. He's trying to get the one he wants.
And another pitch down. He takes it. It's 2-2. Naylor, who hit 20 home runs between Arizona and Seattle, was traded a week before the deadline. A week after he was traded from Arizona, Eugenio Suarez joined him in Seattle. 2-2 pitch, and he fouls another one back.
This is a good at bat here by Naylor. Whatever the outcome, this is what, the 9th pitch of this at bat, 10th pitch of this at bat. So he is making Jack Flaherty work. He's fouled off some nice pitches. I love that fastball he just threw. He painted it, and Naylor just said, boop, no thank you.
So forces another 2-2 delivery, and Naylor hugs one down the line, foul.
So Wayno, as a pitcher, you've gone in, you've gone up, you've gone down, you've thrown sliders, you've thrown curveballs.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Jack right now, I'm thinking slow, something slow, down and away from him. He's finding a way to kind of pull that one that's closer to him. Foul. So if you wanted to hit him on the ground, something slow and down and away from him right here is going to get a ground ball to second base most likely.
Jack to Josh. Reaches out past Flaherty towards the second baseman Torres. Tough play, but he makes it, and Torkelson digs it out, and the battle finally ends going Detroit's way.
Changeup.
Yeah, that's what we said. Something slow, down and away from him. Great play right here. Second baseman is showing up today. But what he was showing us at the plate, he had a great ability to cover that ball down and in. He was pulling that foul, so you get him a little bit leaning out over the plate. That's a ground ball to second waiting to happen.
What's interesting is A.J. Hinch, when we talked to him, he said, Jack, be careful with the changeup to a lot of these lefties. And when he got deep into account, that's what he threw and got the out.
Big swing and a miss from Eugenio Suarez, who's trying to get on track in this postseason. So now the 2 additions from the trade deadline from Arizona, who were so key during the year, still don't have a hit in this series.
No.
Suarez has struck out 4 times in his 8 at-bats. He's faced Flaherty a lot in their time in the National League. 6 for 25 with 3 home runs. Obviously, Flaherty a long-time Cardinal, 7 years there. And Eugenio Suarez made his bones in Cincinnati. 49 home run, 118 RBI year for Suarez, both top 5 in all of baseball. But he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike.
Interesting to me here, these pitches that Flaherty has yanked, it's almost like he's reaching back trying to find a little more velocity. Now that was 96, but he doesn't need to do that. He was so smooth the first few hitters of the 96. It looked like he's just yanking him a little bit.
And Suarez kind of a half-hearted swing. He goes around and it's 3-2.
I'll tell you what happens is he remembers those 3 home runs. He remembers what pitches he hit him on and where he hit him on, and he was trying to not replicate those pitch locations almost certainly.
Payoff pitch. And Suarez draws a walk. You can wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Thrilled to be here for Game 3, even despite the near 3-hour rain delay. Series tied at 1 apiece. Here's Dominic Canzone. Made his playoff debut in Game 1. Went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Had a very strong September. An Ohio kid who played his college ball at Ohio State with the man who's catching Flaherty tonight, Dylan Dingler. Dingler frames one up at the bottom of the zone. It's a ball and a strike.
So if he only throws 3% changeups and 3% sinkers, we've already seen one of each. Is that his quota for the day, AJ?
That's
pretty much.
I was going to say, if you go right about 90 pitches or so, you're getting close. Fouled away by Canzone, and it's 1-2.
Well, Flaherty's a spinner. We used to call him a spinner because a spin doctor, because all he does is a lot of sliders, a lot of curveballs. Those are his out pitch, and in big situations, as a hitter, you have to look at what they do for a strike. So you think, man, I'm going to get something slow at some point in the bat.
1-2. Fouled away by Canzone. Canzone playing in the state of Michigan. He's an Ohio native who grew up loving the Guardians. Big Kenny Lofton fan, but his idol was Ken Griffey Jr. while he was playing with the Cincinnati Reds. Longtime Mariner, obviously, the Mariner legend. Runner at first, 2 outs. Second inning. Scoreless Game 3. And a 2-2 from Flaherty. Gets him waving at a breaking ball. Canzone is hoping that he had fouled it and it wasn't held on to by Dingler. It looked like the catcher did hold on. I did see the home plate umpire John Tumpane indicate that it was tipped. Interesting. At the top of the second, we'll tell you all about it in a moment. Spencer Torkelson leads things off in the home second against Gilbert. And it takes ball 1. So John Tumpane called for a foul tip. It looked like there was no foul tip, but if there was no foul tip, it would be a strikeout. So the result was the correct result, but the Tumpane foul tip call was incorrect, seemingly. Quickly 2-0 on Torkelson.
So it looks like Canzone misses this, but the ball hits the ground. Tumpane says foul tip, which would make that a foul ball if he foul tipped it to hit the ground. Dylan Dingler, super smart, doesn't go to tag him, because if he goes and tags him, then it tells him it hit the ground.
Interesting finish to that inning. The result ended up being the right one, as Suarez, his throw a little off, but Naylor is there, and that'll retire Torkelson. Speaking of the umpiring crew tonight, John Tumpane is calling balls and strikes in his 8th career playoff series. Alan Porter is the crew chief at second base tonight. Here's Zach McKinstry. In at third is Suarez. McKinstry has shown bunt a few times during the postseason, including an RBI sacrifice bunt in the wild card series that ended up going a long way for Detroit. He also had the game-winning RBI in the 11th in Game 1 of this series, his only hit of the playoffs so far. A 1-0 pitch. Hard hit on one hop. Naylor's there. And he'll retire McKinstry. Quickly 2 down. So I know Kevin Burkhardt set it all up for all of you who are watching the game on FS1. So when we get finished up and the Blue Jays and Yankees take over on FS1, this game will move over to FS2. It's probably already on it right now. It is also on MLB Network and the Fox 1 app. So you have options to be able to watch the game. But the Blue Jays and Yankees, if you're looking for that, will begin on FS1 tonight. First pitch to Dingler is upstairs for a ball.
Bueno, a lot of fastballs missed early up. Is that part of his strategy to play off the split and the slider? Because all of them have been up. He hasn't thrown a fastball down all night so far. We're only in the second inning, but still all fastballs up.
Yeah, he's not going to work that fastball down a whole lot. He uses the top part of that zone with that 4-seamer. He's going to work that slider down, and he's going to work the split down, but he's really kind of, like, to your point, right out of the hand, the 4-seam and the split are lined up in the same tunneling area, and that's going to lead that to be at the top of the zone. That's where he wants that to work off of.
Breaking ball is looped past the shortstop Crawford into left field. And it's a 2-out single for Dylan Dingler, his second hit of the postseason.
That's the second good swing we've seen on his slider today. The slider of his pitches, to me, the slider is the most hittable. It's the one he gets back in the count with, but he throws a lot thigh high. That's going to give these Tiger hitters their best chance to make good swings. What he does so well with his other pitches, he uses the fastball up above the thigh, and he uses a split down below the thigh. Thigh is where balls go to die in the big leagues.
Here's Parker Meadows taking one outside.
See, for me, the reason as a hitter, the slider is the most normal pitch he throws.
Yeah.
The high fastball 96 with his angle and his extension is different, and obviously his split is just crazy different from any other pitch. So to me, the most normal pitch he throws that a hitter sees is his slider.
That is the pitch that saw 10 home runs go. 39 of his strikeouts came on that pitch. But again, sometimes if you hang one, opponents will have an opportunity to hit it. But this is where that splitter ranks. Think about the slider that we've talked about for Munoz, and then Gilbert's splitter, two of the most unhittable pitches in all of baseball.
A 115. Think about that. 115 batting average against.
Major league average, guys, across the board is 245. Just every pitch, 245.
Think about this against the Tigers. They're 0 for 13 this year against his split. He had 19 punchies in 10 innings against them, 10 1/3.
2-1 pitch to Meadows, in there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
19 punchies in 10 1/3 and 0 for 13 just on one pitch alone for him. That just shows you what his game plan should be. The Tigers can't hit his split, nor can anybody.
Runner at first, 2 outs, the 2-2. Count runs full.
Man, that's such a great take right now. So now you're thinking right now, AJ, if he takes that, most likely you could stick a fastball at the bottom of the zone and he would take it, but he doesn't throw it there.
It's an interesting pitch what you throw here. You go split and hope for a swing and miss, or you try to rush him up.
Dingler will be off from first base on this 3-2 pitch with 2 outs in the second. Fouled away. You guys have been talking about that splitter. Here was the splitter to Riley Green that finished off the first inning. Oh.
You see it. It's like a fork ball almost. He's got his index finger circled, but the way it comes out of there, look, it just drops off the table. Gets about halfway, and it just says, I'm not going any more forward. I'm only going down.
Another 3-2 pitch to Meadows. Dingler goes, and it swung on and missed. Goes to the fastball that time and rushes Meadows to a strikeout to finish off the second. We're scoreless. Welcome back to the 2025 American League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com. 2 scoreless through, and a Foul ball by Victor Robles to start off this top half of the third inning. Robles, who spent a bunch of time on the injured list this season. The left shoulder dislocation. Played just 32 games in the regular season. Looking for his first hit of the playoffs, his first postseason since winning the World Series with the Washington Nationals 6 years ago. 0-2 pitch from Flaherty. Breaking ball hammered down the line. McKinstry gave it a great effort to try to lean in and make the play, but this is going to be extra bases for Victor Robles, and he's looking for a triple, although he's going to put on the brakes. This is a great triples ballpark. Robles will test the fates, and he'll take 2 instead to start the third.
And Robles is a great strike breaking ball hitter, and you see Jack's trying to get that down and away, but he leaves it middle in, and those hanging breaking balls middle in give a hitter time to adjust, and he was able to keep it fair, especially a great breaking ball hitter like Robles.
So a man in scoring position, a hit from somebody other than Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, or Jorge Polanco. Just the 4th from the rest of the lineup for Seattle, has Robles in scoring position for J.P. Crawford, the veteran.
You have to get him over to third at a minimum here. You cannot have an unproductive at bat if you're J.P. Crawford. You got Randy Arozarena on deck. You got to get the lead on this. The way Logan Gilbert started these first 2 innings, a lead for the Mariners, 1-run lead, especially with the way these 2 offenses have played the first 2 games, feels like 5 runs.
I mean, the runs have been at such a premium so far in this series. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. A 3-2 Detroit victory in Game 1 in 11 innings on Saturday night. With Skubal pitching on Sunday, the Mariners with the victory in the late innings to even up this series at 1 apiece. It was Seattle's first home playoff victory in 24 years. Now we're in this crucial swing game of this ALDS. The 1-2. Crawford muscles one towards left center field. That's going to get down. Robles got a little bit of a late start, trying to make sure that that ball hit the deck. Now it gets through the legs of Dingler. Here comes Robles on his way home. The tag, not in time. He's safe. And it's 1-0 Seattle. Crawford moves up to second base. A.J. Hinch might consider a challenge here. We'll see. He's going to want the challenge. As of now, it is 1-0 Mariners in the third.
Where do we start with this play? But we'll see the replay of the tag at home. I thought he was safe from the naked eye. We'll see here as his foot comes up.
Ooh.
Detroit is challenging the safe call.
Does he get the heel down before? He might have the heel on the corner of the plate first.
Let's start with the play. First of all, blue pit by J.P. Crawford. They count. Why Riley Green throws this ball and then McKinstry just lets it go, and then Dingler botches it. It was just a bad defensive play all around by the Tigers. There's no other way to put it. Why McKinstry let that ball go, I have no idea. Now, whether he's out or safe, I still think he's safe right there. His toe's on the plate, but
is his toe down?
But why did McKinstry let that ball go? Like, you know the guy at first isn't going. That puts the catcher in such a tough spot.
Look at the throw by Jack Flaherty, though. Former shortstop. Bare hand side, little submarine piece. That's the only reason this is even close.
It's a replay review presented by Zoom.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. Detroit loses their first challenge. They have 1 remaining.
That's the right call.
100%.
It's a 1-0 Seattle lead. Single for Crawford, E7 on the left fielder Green. No RBI. And just barely in is Robles to score the game's first run.
Great shots by our camera crew. His foot never comes up. That's one thing about home plate. Every other base is raised, home plate is flat. So you have to keep your foot on the ground. But I'm still trying to figure out what the heck Detroit's defense was doing. Normally just throw it to the third baseman.
As Arozarena fouls one away.
And people say, oh, the catcher is yelling, cut or don't cut. In these games, the third baseman can't hear the catcher yelling. He has to make that decision on his own.
Arozarena on the ground, back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Crawford speeding around third. He will score. Randy Arozarena has his first RBI of the postseason. He does it against his former Cardinal teammate Flaherty, and it's 2-0 Seattle. Some production from the supporting cast for the Mariners gives them a 2-0 lead in the third.
Head in the count for Jack Flaherty. Randy behind the back. Behind the count, just protecting, uses the middle part of the field. We keep saying this over and over again. Using the big part of the field up the middle, especially when you're behind, not a bad idea.
No, but see, that's good hitting.
Yeah.
If he misses thing in the middle part of the field, the worst that happens, he hits a ground ball, and Crawford's at third with one out for Cal Raleigh. So that's just smart hitting by Randy. And then he gets the bonus. He gets the knock and the RBI.
While we have a moment, a quick word from Strauss.
From the fields we farm to the fields we play, work wins the game. Strauss at Major League Baseball. Gear for any season.
Here's Cal Raleigh taking ball one from Flaherty. He flew out on the first pitch he saw in the first inning.
All three hits this inning have been when Jack's ahead of the count. 0-2, 1-2, and 0-1.
The three hits came in a 7-pitch stretch. Just like that, 2-0.
No.
Now Raleigh looking to add on after a 60 home run season.
Be real careful right here. 2-0. Raleigh's hunting something down. Flaherty could throw that breaking ball. Be real careful right here.
2-0 pitch.
No.
3-0. A historic season for Cal Raleigh. Most home runs ever by a switch hitter, most by a primary catcher, most by a Seattle Mariner.
And he's got the green light. He has to have the green light right here.
He'll take. It's a strike. Already Flaherty has hit the 50-pitch mark. Remember, he had that double-digit foul ball inning in the second. He disengages and back in safely is Arozarena, who had 31 stolen bases during the regular year and has the only steal of this series.
Pitch count at 50. 16 of them are foul balls.
Yep. Really making Flaherty work is this Seattle offense. The 3-1. Raleigh takes ball four.
We talked about this throw already, but I want to go back to it. Riley Green should know the way the speed of this ball, he's not going to get sent. So he tries to hit the cutoff man. And for some reason, Zach McKinstry's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to let my catcher who's got mask and catching gear and all that try to catch it. And it gets by him. They teach you to throw it to the cutoff man. He did. But you need the cutoff man to cut it.
Rodriguez takes a cut at a slider, 0-1. So all four Mariners in this inning have reached.
That's going to be so huge for this Mariner lineup. Getting on ahead of Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. That was such a tough spot because the runner on first, you don't want to compound the inning and have first and second no outs, but you also can't give in to Cal Raleigh in that situation. That's tough on the pitcher.
The 1-1.
No.
Down and away. Detroit defensively was about average in fielding percentage. They were above average in defensive efficiency. They made fewer errors than the league average as the lefty Brant Herter is loosening up. But a lot of that is based off of their excellent positioning. That was a miscue, as AJ pointed out, by McKinstry, letting that ball go through and making it tough on the catcher.
And that's a tough error for Riley Green because he's going, I threw it to the cutoff man, guys.
Yep.
What do you want?
Now Rodriguez ahead of the count, 2-1. 3-1. Well, Flaherty getting behind back-to-back hitters. High leverage counts for Raleigh and Rodriguez. Rodriguez homered off of Flaherty back on July the 13th. Was eventually a Seattle sweep. Big cut on a fastball, 3-2.
He reached back right here. 3-1. Had to challenge him.
Got him swinging on a slider. One away.
And that out right there keeps him in the game for at least one more hitter. If he would have walked him, they would have gone to the bullpen. I firmly believe that. Would flip Polanco around, made Naylor hit the lefty. But this 3-2 slider here keeps Jack Flaherty in the game, at least for one more hitter.
That's the poker that you play right there, because he knew he couldn't give in. So he went for the swing and miss right there. Started it on the corner and broke it just off.
There's Polanco right back to the slider for a strike. Beg your pardon, they gave him the knuckle curve on that one.
So wait, if he gets him here, do you leave him in for Naylor, or do you go to Herder and say we just got to match up from here on because we can't give up any more runs?
Yeah.
No.
Well, the last couple of breaking balls have been very, very sharp. I think with the matchup with Naylor, you keep that ball down. I think it's not a bad matchup. I haven't looked at the numbers to know that, but on paper it looks good.
Strike two on the corner. In a few moments, those of you watching us on FS1 will be taken to the start of the Mariners-Yankees game, or beg your pardon, the Blue Jays-Yankees game in the Bronx. For those of you who want to stay watching our game, turn to FS2 and the MLB Network. It's also available on the Fox 1 app.
No.
Two balls and two strikes on Polanco. Breaking ball, got him again. Five strikeouts, all on breaking balls, the curveball and the slider so far.
I think you ride this momentum right here, AJ. Now, he may make a different decision, but two punch outs in a row in the middle of the lineup, guys that have been hot this series. I think you trust your guy right here.
An 11-pitch at bat from Naylor. The first time he launches one out towards right center field. On the move, it's Meadows. He gets there. All the way out to the warning track to finish off the inning for Flaherty and limit the damage to 2 runs. But the Mariners strike first. Robles with the leadoff double. Arozarena with an RBI single. Flaherty a little frustrated as Seattle jumps out in front on the road in Game 3. Couple of hits. 3 of them, in fact, in that top half of the 3rd inning, and now Javi Baez will lead things off in the home 3rd for Detroit. Hitting in the 9 spot tonight. And he takes strike 1 from Logan Gilbert. Baez 5 hits in the wild card series, 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of this set, but between both series he has only struck out 1 time. Been a big improvement overall this year for Baez.
No.
Cut down his strikeout rate by a nice margin and saw his average jump from the 180s last year to the 250s this year.
He's made some adjustments, and we've seen him make adjustments in the past. When he cuts down his swing and swings at strikes, he can do some damage. The thing about Javi Baez, he also take away his aggressiveness. You have to kind of walk the line of aggressive but not too aggressive.
Gilbert comes home with a 1-1. Breaking ball fouled. Really fun to watch Logan Gilbert's delivery. He's got the arms and legs moving, that kind of torque of his upper body, almost like an old school right-handed pitcher, like from the 70s you might see.
I love anytime there's different deliveries. Nobody's cookie cutting big league pitchers. Everybody has their own unique styles.
Got the step back, the high glove, and he induces a pop-up from Baez to short for Crawford. Squeezes to retire his counterpart. What do you focus on, AJ, when you're in the box facing this?
The ball. That's it. This is all wash. You're trying to look at his hat where the S is and trying to find the window where it comes out of. You don't even notice that. The only thing that does is for timing. You try not to even look at him.
Little Nuke LaLoosh right there as he turns around. Kind of all he's missing is the eye roll.
Come on, Abby Calvin. Back to the top of the order for Detroit and Kerry Carpenter.
No.
A ground out his first time. Another guy who cut down his strikeout rate in a year where the Tigers still had some strikeout problems. Carpenter, at the very least, was able to cut down on them down towards league average, which is about 22%. He was usually in the upper 20s in the years prior. Takes a big cut at a fastball, 1-1. The big home run in game 1. Hasn't faced Gilbert much. Just 1 for 2 against him coming into action tonight. One and two.
And righties have such an advantage against Logan Gilbert. The numbers bear that out. Much lower OPS, much lower batting average, and it's because of that split. He throws that split so much more to lefties. They're so much more comfortable when he throws it to lefties. You saw the high fastball, then the split to Carpenter.
Skips away. Gilbert was the number 14 pick, first-round pick in 2018 out of Stetson University in Florida, which has produced some really impressive pitchers over the years. Corey Kluber and Jacob deGrom among them. Made his debut in May of 2021. Was an all-star last year and was the opening day starter for Seattle this season. 2-2 delivery on the way. Floats outside. We talk about his slider that has had a lot of effectiveness. He learned that slider from Jacob deGrom. Both were working out in the offseason down at Stetson about 4 years ago. And deGrom and Gilbert had a nice little powwow to discuss how to throw your slider better. Swing and a miss on the slider, right on cue for the second out. Third strikeout for Gilbert. He's got 3 strikeouts on 3 different pitches.
Here's that big slider right there. A little bit more playing on that one. Do it down. That's where he wants it, down. Plays so much more effectively down in the zone.
Torres singled off of Gilbert in the first. He takes a strike. Big cut, 0-2. A chance for a 1-2-3 third inning for Logan Gilbert, who led Major League Baseball last year with something I know Adam Wainwright appreciates, 33 starts and 208 plus innings pitched, and still had a whip. Walks and hits per innings pitched under 1. Ended up top 6 in the Cy Young vote last season and earned himself the opening day start this year. Did have injury issues though for the first time this year. He had a flexor strain in his elbow in April, so he missed about 2 months. That was the first time he'd really dealt with a significant injury. He's been strong ever since, and now going to work in the postseason.
No.
Torres lays off 2-2.
200 innings with a whip under 1. It's really remarkable, you know, and that he's just another one of the great Mariners pitchers over here that attack hitters. They do such a great job of their K to walk ratio. Every one of these guys, I heard George Kirby say there's like a 98% chance to get the ball back or get an out when you throw the first pitch strike.
2-2. Hard hit by Torres. Left fielder is Arozarena, and he overplays it. It gets past him. Torres is looking for extra bases, and he'll have a 2-out double in the third. .103 off the bat.
Well, this is where he normally would have finished a lefty off with a split. Instead, he tries to go high fastball. Last time Torres hit a slider. This time he gets a fastball. Arozarena tries to catch it. He can't catch it once it gets past him. It's an easy double for Gleyber Torres, but here's where the Tigers got to store. They've struggled with runners in scoring position the entire postseason, and in this, Colt Keith's got to figure out a way to get him on the board right here.
Ball 1. They are 10 for 52 with runners in scoring position in the 5 playoff games they've played. They're 3 for 17 so far in this series. So it's up to Colt Keith, who had never faced Gilbert until tonight, to try to make it happen. just came back from an injury, did Colt Keith, that rib strain that had him out since September the 18th. He just returned for this series after sitting in the wild card series.
So we had an old pitching coach, Don Cooper, that we used to talk about this all the time. Who's going to be the next team to score? For me, the Tigers have to score. They have to hold the Mariners at 2 and be the next team to score. If they are the next team to score, it gets the crowd going again and it gets the team excited. If the Mariners go out and get out of this inning and score again, it takes all the air out of the stadium and a little bit out of your dugout. As weird as that is to say, it just does. Even though you think, oh, why would it? It takes air out of your dugout.
Torres waits in scoring position. First chance for the Tigers tonight. One and one. Good slider.
You see the difference, the shape of that pitch when it's down. It's got such great bite. It's when he tries to get back in the count sometimes or steal a strike when he leaves it thigh high, and that's when he gets burned on it.
A ball and a strike to Keith. He takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike now on the Tigers DH. He made a big jump this season as well. Pumped his OPS up about 60 points. You see what he did against righties. All 13 of his home runs. Almost all the damage he had this year against right-handed pitching. The 2-1. In the air, center field. Rodriguez is over. And indeed, Logan Gilbert is able to work his way out of that 3rd inning. And he makes those 2 runs the Mariners scored stand up. More, including how to find a league near you, playball.org, and follow Playball on X, Facebook, and IG. Eugenio Suarez fouls one away. He walked back in the 2nd inning. Suarez, who began his career as a Detroit Tiger, has had a short stint in the major leagues with Detroit before he was shipped off to Cincinnati. He swings and sends one out towards deep left field. This one's way back there, and Eugenio Suarez returns to Detroit with a bang. It's 3-0 Seattle. Stunned silence for the Tiger fans and the Seattle faithful who've made the trip. Ignited after their prodigal son comes away with a solo shot.
Well, they've been waiting for Gino Suarez to do just this. He has struggled in the postseason up till this point, but one swing of the bat, I made that guy not real happy.
His first hit of the series extends the lead for Seattle, and here's Canzone. AJ, this is exactly the scenario you talked about in the last inning, the Don Cooper scenario. Just deflated the crowd. If Seattle was going to score the next run, you would feel it. We have.
Well, yeah, the guy who caught this in the 2nd deck up there isn't even a 2nd deck. He hit this so far. Feels it also, but look at Gino. He knows it right away. He's pointing to the people. Saw the excitement. And one thing I've noticed about Jack Flaherty, I've done a couple of his games this year. When he gives up a homer, he tends to kind of go off the rails a little bit, Wayno, meaning emotionally, it takes him a second to get it back. They can't afford that right here.
No. And he deals a 4-pitch walk to Canzone.
Gino's one of those guys that hits them in bunches. Gino, Schwarber, the guys that hit lots of homers, sometimes they come in bunches, and they have their down streaks too, like he's been, but that was in Gino land right there. Fastball, middle in, up, belt high.
You're right about the bunches. Remember, he had a 4-home run game earlier this season when he was still with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bunt shown by Robles. He pops it foul. At the time, it was the 19th 4-home run game in Major League history. There were 2 more after that. Nick Kurtz of the Athletics and then Kyle Schwarber of Philadelphia did it in August. This is the first time in Major League history we've had 3 4-home run games in one season. Now Tommy Kahnle loosening behind Flaherty. Did Robles go? He did not.
You got to shut this inning down. You can't allow another run. The Tigers haven't scored more than 3 runs in only one of their playoff games, and it took a 5-run explosion in the 9th the other day, or the 8th or 9th, I forget what inning it was. But
Robles bunts it, foul 1-2.
you can't have, you can't let them get 3, 4, 5 runs ahead, because your offense hasn't proven they can come back, especially with against someone of the quality of not only Logan Gilbert but a rested Mariners bullpen. Because Brash is good, Munoz is good, Spire's good. They're loaded with the off day yesterday.
Yep. And this feels like a fulcrum in this game 3. The 1-2.
No.
2-2. Robles runs the count full after fouling away a couple of bunt attempts. Now 3-2. Detroit hoping to find some of its home magic again. Remember, they averaged almost 5 runs a game at this ballpark. They're going to have to find some slug in this game to come back. Canzone's back in safe. Meanwhile, Seattle, an improved offense which ended up in the top 10 in baseball in scoring, top 3 in home runs. Generated 2 in the 3rd and gets a Suarez solo homer here in the 4th. Still 3-2 on Robles.
That about sums up Tigers fans after that home run. Like I said, the 3rd run where they scored 2, the Tigers had a chance. It just takes something out of the stadium and your dugout. It shouldn't, but it does.
Called strike 3. Boy, that's about as well placed of a fastball as you can have. It freezes Robles for the first out of the inning. And let's see if that's it for Flaherty. Still the apprehension apparent here at Comerica Park. So Hinch is going to take Flaherty out after he gets the first out of the 4th. Eugenio Suarez has extended the lead for the Mariners. They see it's 3-0. Our player profile is sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Take you back June 7, 2014 off of John Lester. First home run of Eugenio Suarez's career. AJ, I think you remember this.
I was in the dugout on the Red Sox that year, and yes, I do remember that. It was weird I wasn't catching John Lester, but I got to see this one here from the booth also. And just a blast. He had better hair. He has better hair now than he did back in 2014.
Letting it flow. There's Tommy Kahnle in from the bullpen for the 2nd time in this series. He deals a strike on the changeup, which we're used to seeing. Had a 1-2-3 7th inning in game 1. He struck out Luke Raley with a fastball. The surprise fastball, AJ Hinch said, for a guy who's known to throw a lot of changeups. I mean, a lot of them, including the first 2 pitches here. Flaherty's still responsible for Canzone at first base, but he's done after 3 1/3. About the same amount of pitches he threw against Cleveland in game 3, and 74 in that outing, 76 tonight. 2 balls and a strike on J.P. Crawford, who singled and scored one of the 2 runs in the Seattle 3rd.
We saw it from almost the first batter on tonight. We just saw them. They were not easy outs. Lots of foul balls, working counts, getting deep, getting the pitches they want. That's winning success for an offense. Get the pitcher on the ropes. Get the guys on in front of the big guys. They've done everything they needed to do so far offensively tonight,
Including hitting homer.
and hit a homer.
They've scored on the Detroit starter first in each of the first 3 games of this series. Crawford taps it, 3-2.
Kahnle will never give in. He'll never give in. 3-1 changeup, 3-2 changeup. If he fouls it off, he's going to get another changeup. It really is remarkable, the fact that he basically throws 1 pitch. It's not Mariano's cutter. It's just a changeup that moves a lot and has great arm speed.
Payoff pitch.
No.
And Crawford lays off the change. Second walk issued by Detroit pitching in this 4th inning, and now 2 on with 1 out for Seattle, and back to the top of the order. Contemplative Jack Flaherty looks on as Randy Arozarena, who singled and scored, or singled in a run, I should say, in the third off of Flaherty, climbs back in. Career season despite a rough September for Randy Arozarena. Been hitting in the leadoff spot just about every game for Seattle since the trade deadline when they added Naylor and Suarez. He's ahead 2-0. Years of age, Arozarena. Some huge playoff moments already in his career. The Cuban native who signed with St. Louis in 2016. Debuted 3 years later and made his postseason debut in 2019. 2-1. Obviously, the 2020 postseason, where he banged out 10 of his 11 career playoff home runs, has a lot to do with that, but that's some pretty good company to be in OPS wise in the playoffs. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
There was one fastball.
Surprise fastball.
He just reset the clock. He just reset the clock on Randy. Because again, hitters don't want to look like that on heaters. What do you hear your whole life? Don't be late on the fastball. Don't be late on the fastball. And Randy was late, so it reopens it up for changeups.
No.
3-2. 1 point on a streak of 61 consecutive changeups thrown in the postseason for Canely last year when he was pitching for the New York Yankees. Payoff pitch. Arozarena pops it up. Dingler will see it out of play.
61 straight changeups. Is it still a changeup, or is it just the thing? And then if you throw your one fastball, it's like you don't even count it. It's like an outlier.
Just here's the pitch.
Here's
just the pitch.
Yeah,
here's the pitch.
My favorite is what A.J. Hinch said when Canely struck out the guy the other night. He came in and said, "See, I can't throw fastballs, guys."
I mean, he's in on the bit at this point as Arozarena calls time.
It's not like it's slow either. He still pumps it up there, 94, 95.
9 strikeouts all season on the fastball until he got that fastball strikeout against Rayleigh the other night. Payoff pitch to Arozarena is waved on and missed on a changeup. 2 down.
Guess what? Changeup. And Arozarena's way out in front. Just look how far out in front, and he knows it's coming. Now, Cal Raleigh, this is going to be a challenge because Cal Raleigh likes the ball a little bit down, and he does hammer off speed pitches, so you better be really careful right here.
Bangs one on the ground through the right side, a base hit. Canzone will come around to score, and it's 4-0 Seattle. Cal Raleigh has his first RBI of the series.
They keep getting runners on in front of Cal. It's going to be very tough for the Tigers.
We talked about it. It was basically Raleigh, Rodriguez, and Polanco doing it on their own, and now getting some help tonight.
That's just a high changeup. Cal Raleigh just punches that ball through the middle, and they're up 4-0. But the walk, right? The home runs you can live with, but the walk, the 2 walks, one of them has already come around to score. And now you get the hottest guy on the Mariners team up there with 2 more on.
So Leo Rodriguez, who has struck out twice tonight, both against Flaherty on breaking balls, now facing Canely with 2 on and 2 out. Hits one deep to left field. Long run for Green, who is playing over towards the gap. He'll get there, and he'll make the catch to end the inning and strand a pair. But Eugenio Suarez started it in this frame with a solo blast, hit a career high tying 49 between Arizona and Seattle this season. His first of the playoffs makes it 4-0.
I'm with Tigers manager A.J. Hinch, who I know prides himself on the way this team plays defense. What did you see on the breakdown on that relay?
Yeah, it was a weird play because there was no play with where the ball was hit, and it hung up a little bit, and then Z-back didn't hear to cut it, and then Ding doesn't block it, and it scurries away, and then it was a little bit of a mess. So obviously a big play in an inning that was starting to gain some momentum. We have a couple innings we haven't gotten into very well the last two, and they put up a crooked number.
You stuck with Jack Flaherty through Naylor and then had to get him the next inning. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, it just looked like he got into the game very well, and it looked like he was making pitches, and then all of a sudden, you know, they were making him work, had some long at bats, but it really started with the pressure at the top of the innings. The last two innings, leadoff hitter did something positive. They've been able to piece together back-to-back at bats against him. And when you get into playoffs, you get in this part of the game, it's time to go to the pen, and we'll use a lot of guys.
Thanks, AJ.
You got it.
Tom, thanks so much. A ball and 2 strikes on Riley Green against Logan Gilbert here to start the bottom of the 4th. Skipper in there. By the way, for those curious, it is manager's discretion if they want to talk to us in game. We have no requirements to do so. We encourage it. We appreciate AJ Hinch talking to us despite his team losing. We also appreciate Dan Wilson joining us during that long, near 3-hour rain delay. So much appreciation to both managers for sitting down with us today. Now Gilbert gets a 4-run cushion with which to work here in inning number 4. And he gets Green looking silly on a slider. 4th strikeout. Now it's the last 2 have come on the slider for Gilbert.
I'll be honest, I think this is the best I've ever seen his slider. This is the best I've seen it all year for sure. And tonight he's got that great biting action down the zone. Looks like a fastball and just late darts down and in. It's tough when the split's going to the right and that slider's going left.
There's Torkelson. First pitch swinging. High fly ball out to left center field for Rodriguez. And 1 pitch to get Torkelson. You and I were chatting with Cal Raleigh earlier today, and you're like, what's it like? You asked him, what is it like to catch Logan Gilbert? He goes, I just got to be ready, man. I got to be ready to move right, move left, depending on the spin, which pitch he's using, and how he's set up.
His split reminds me of a guy, Jose Contreras, that threw a similar grip with just a full fork ball, and it was almost like a knuckleball. You never knew which way it was going to go. Up, down, in, out. You just, like Cal Raleigh said, you just got to be ready for anything.
Here's Zach McKinstry. McKinstry this season had 11 triples. 7 of them came in this ballpark. This is such a friendly triples ballpark with the big wide gaps. The wall has been moved in over the last couple of years and lowered as well. The fences have been. There's a strike. But this ballpark plays so well to somebody like McKinstry. And also, this is a very good base running team in Detroit. That certainly helped with as aggressive as they were running the bags. We said they're going to need some slug to get back into this game. They're going to need extra base hits. McKinstry waves at a fastball.
Yeah, I love Wainwright. I played here before they moved the fences in. You were laughing at, you can't believe how far the fences used to be.
I mean,
boy, showed that home run by
graveyard.
Suarez, right? Like he launched it.
That was a real home run here in Comerica.
Right, yeah.
Yellowstone Park here.
One of your favorite places to visit, I know, now in your retirement.
But yeah, that was all in play. That flagpole in play. That where you see the orange, that was the original fence.
Yep.
They moved the bullpens. The bullpens used to be in right field stacked. They moved the bullpens there to move the fences in. They also moved in the center field wall, the right field wall. This place used to be absolutely crazy.
Suarez's home run would have been a home run in all 30 major league parks. It went 422 feet. A little bit of a delay here as the umpire was giving Raleigh a moment. Not sure what was bothering him, whether it was the bounce or the slide. Gilbert trying to end the inning here, and he does. Picked up by Raleigh to throw it down. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Logan Gilbert, and the fans in Detroit are starting to get a little restless. 4-0 to the 5th. Back here for Game 4 of this Mariners-Tigers series. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern, plus Brewers-Cubs on TBS. Potential Game 4 of Blue Jays and Yankees at 7 on FS1. And then the Phillies and the Dodgers back on TBS. Potentially a 4-game division series day with our great crews and our friends over at TBS. So Brant Herter is in for the 3rd time in this series. He's only needed 12 pitches to get through his 2 outings in the first 2 games. Polanco has had a great year hitting against lefties, but Herter deals a strike to start him off.
Well, that's the pitch. His sweepers. The opponents are in the regular season hit under 150 on that pitch, 129. So he's got to be able to locate that, and you're going to see a lot of those, especially against the lefties.
Polanco rolls one over to Baez at short, and he throws him out to start the 5th.
The warming up here is such a unique experience because, you know, it's not rare that you face ribbing from fans as you're warming up, but there is a very informed fan that stands right up above those red, white, and blue banners. He's got a packet of all your information and all your weird numbers. So if there's ever like a stat that's like, say you're starting on a Thursday.
Sure.
He knows your stats on a Thursday. Like you gave up 5 runs one time, and he'll say, hey, wait, no, remember that time you gave up 5 runs? He knows all the weirdest, like worst stats, and he sits there your entire time warming up. He's like 6'6", 300 pounds. You can't miss him, and he's got all your worst stats.
Naylor bounces one up the middle. The shortstop Baez makes the play, and he retires Naylor. Quickly 2 up and 2 down on just 4 pitches for Brant Herter.
Well, to follow on that, they used to, on the scoreboard, I haven't noticed it tonight, they also used to post the most random stats on the scoreboard.
And like facts and stuff too, right?
It would say this, when I would go up to hit, they'd say he's 1 for 12 on Tuesdays when the dew point is 68 degrees. And the sun is in its equinox, and you're like, how do they? What? Wait, what?
Probably that big guy's running the scoreboard.
Suarez has walked in homer tonight. He takes a strike.
You always try not to look at this, whatever they had up on the scoreboard, because you knew it would be something crazy. It was always negative. There was never anything positive up there.
Well, it's almost like they were trying to distract you and make you go, wait, what?
Speak
oh, shoot, a fastball.
No.
I forgot I'm hitting right now. They love Suarez in Seattle after he helped the Mariners break their playoff drought 3 years ago. There was a lot of excitement and buzz when he was dealt back to Seattle. He was one of the big trade deadline acquisitions, even though his numbers weren't as good with Seattle in the second half this year. It just lengthened the lineup, and you always talk about that, Wayno. Lengthening the lineup is such a problem, especially in the playoffs.
Add some complexity to the starter. Make him think about more than 1 or 2 batters in the middle. If you have to worry about the 6, 7, 8 hitters, just add so much more complexity to your game.
Herter's 2-2. A nice inning by Herter. He goes 1-2-3 on 9 pitches, and he fans Suarez to end the 5th. We're halfway through in Game 3. Mariners in control. You guys talked about it. We know the splitter is a ridiculous pitch, but the slider is the pitch that helps make a lot of his arsenal go, and it's been his most heavily leaned on pitch, and the last 3 strikeouts have come on the slider for Logan Gilbert, who deals to Dylan Dingler to start the bottom of the 5th.
Well, it's been great because he's been able to locate it, and the high fastball and then the slider behind it with the split against lefties. He's used the slider against the righties and lefties, the split against lefties. He isn't heavy split, which I don't think is a good omen for the Tigers if they get to see more splits.
It's almost like he heard us say earlier that that was his most average pitch. He decided to show us. It's really been great today.
There's a 1-1 to the Detroit catcher inside. This battery, Tom Verducci, has been together for quite some time now, Logan Gilbert and Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, it's a great story going back to the 2018 draft. They were both highly regarded college players until their stock dropped the year of the draft. In both cases, for Gilbert, velocity down. And for Cal,
watch out, Tom.
And for Cal, he had shown less power that season. But the area scout in North Florida for Seattle, Rob Mumau, knew that Logan had an undiagnosed case of mono and that Cal Raleigh had a thumb injury. He vouched for both of those players that you should go ahead and draft them despite down seasons. They did. That year, the Mariners had begun a statistical model to use analytics to draft players, and Cal was number 379 on their list. They took him under Mamo's advice in the 3rd round. They've been together since 2019 in the Cal League for the Modesto Nuts, and here they are in the ALDS.
Dingler is officially hit by the pitch. Would have been a walk either way. The leadoff man is aboard for the Tigers in the 5th. Thanks for that story, Tom. Here's what Logan Gilbert has done over the course of the night tonight.
He's worked that great slider down, the fastball up when he's needed to. A couple of really great splits. But, man, look at that darting action on the slider he's got tonight. It's just so much better than I've seen in the last few starts, man. The last, 2 months, it hasn't looked anything like that.
Bunt shown by Meadows. Bare hand by Suarez. Throw to first is in time. What a play by Eugenio Suarez on a bare hand, which looked like a pretty good bunt from Parker Meadows, the speedster. It does move Dingler into scoring position, but Suarez gets the first out.
Nice play by Eugenio Suarez. Pretty good bunt by Meadows, maybe a little bit hard, but I love how he gets it and just fires a strike over to Naylor with the stretch. Really nice play. That's going to go down as a sack. He was bunting for a hit, but a nice play by Suarez. And to add to Tom's story, of course, I mean, Cal Raleigh went to Florida State. Logan Gilbert's from Stetson, Florida. Of course you should pick the Florida guys. Come on.
You're a proponent of the Florida man. Here's Baez. Sends one out towards right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Robles, who's got a great arm, is going to fire it in. That ball gets through the cutoff, and Raleigh had to slide up the 3rd base line to make sure he blocked that ball, keeping Baez at first base and preventing any advancement from Dingler from 3rd. But Detroit's got a little life as they have the top of the order up and 2 on in the 5th.
So many times you focus so deeply on the top of the lineup, and you get the lead, and then all of a sudden the bottom of the lineup is the one that brings them back in. And the bottom of the lineup can get on for Kerry Carpenter. That's really going to be their best chance to score some crooked numbers.
I'm going to ask this question again. We asked it to the Tigers. Why did Josh Naylor not cut that ball? He's not scoring on that ball. Robles has an absolute cannon in right field, and that ball, there was no out or 1 out. Joey Cora, as aggressive as he is, isn't going to score the catcher from second base down 4. We almost had the same situation arise that happened to the Tigers. Thank God Cal Raleigh went over there, if you're a Mariners fan, and blocked it up. But why don't we just cut it?
Could have gotten a little dicey. This is a dicey situation for Gilbert. 2 on, 1 out, and here's Carpenter.
Big spot for Gilbert, even bigger for this Detroit Tigers team. They just have to get at least 1 right here.
Look at the numbers the 3rd time through the order when Carpenter faces a starter. Here we go. Ball 1.
Also, we've mentioned the Tigers' struggles with runners in scoring position. Well, Carp and Torkelson are 5 for 14. The rest of the team before that, Baez. But they've got to have. This is the spot. This is why A.J. Hinch put Carpenter in the leadoff spot, was for this at bat.
On the ground, foul, 1-1. Kerry Carpenter, a true development project for the Tigers, a 19th round draft pick in 2019, has turned into an excellent power hitter, a career high 26 homers this year. His power has at times earned him the nickname Kerry Bonds. Just let that marinate for a second. First and 3rd, 1 out, 5th inning, game 3. Tigers trying to get on the board.
Did you try to put this runner in motion right here, AJ?
1-1. 2-1, smothered by Raleigh.
Unless you can get a huge jump, but Raleigh really throws well, and Logan Gilbert's not that slow to the plate. You got to give your best hitter an opportunity to drive the run in. He doesn't hit a lot of balls on the ground. Logan Gilbert doesn't give up a lot of ground balls. His ground ball rate is one of the lowest in baseball. So I'm letting him stay there because it keeps that hole open on the right side. Polanco has to even slide over more. I just think you let him hit right here.
Carpenter fights off a slider, 2-2.
but now he's got him set up for the split. He's got the high fastball he can go to. You just threw him a slider, he can throw him a split or the back foot slider. There's so many options right here, but like you said, Wayno, he's got to put this ball in play and get at least one run home.
Two pitch. 3-2.
You got to throw him a strike. You got to make Carpenter beat you right here. Gleyber Torres is 2 for 2. He has owned Logan Gilbert in his career, and he has hit the 2 hardest balls off Logan Gilbert tonight. So this is action pitch.
Payoff to Carpenter coming. On the ground to second. Robles to second for 1. Crawford to first. Naylor did not keep the foot on the bag. He juggled the ball and the run scores. Dingler gets Detroit on the board. They get the lead out from the runner at first in Baez. Crawford's relay off target. Naylor couldn't squeeze it. 2 down in the inning, and Detroit gets a crucial run back. RBI fielder's choice for Carpenter.
Well, he got the ground ball. The one thing we didn't think would happen, he hits it right at Polanco. And just a bad throw by J.P. Crawford that pulls Josh Naylor. I love Cal Raleigh's reaction. A little bobble. Yeah, he bobbles it right there, so he didn't complete the catch.
Yep, that's right.
Des Bryant style, did not complete the catch.
He was, yeah.
Here's Torres, who's got a couple of hits tonight off of Gilbert and is 8 for 18 now, as AJ was talking about in his career. See the ball almost stuck in the glove.
That's when he hit the ground.
Yep, could not complete the process of the catch through the ground, to use the NFL parlance.
It's a very, very big spot for Logan now, because sometimes when that was a patented double play right off the bat, right? And sometimes when that doesn't happen, you can lose your focus just a little bit for a small second. Can't do that in the playoffs and against big league hitters.
Ball and a strike. Torres, check swing, bouncer, foul, 1-2. All-Star Torres this season after 7 years with the Yankees, playing his 51st career playoff game. Gilbert, his second career playoff start, trying to finish the 5th. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They got his pitch count up a little bit this inning, made him work a little bit. He was cruising right along. Now they got the pin up.
You got 2 lefties coming up in Keith and Green, with Gabe Spire, who's been very good in this series so far, warming up behind Gilbert. Time called. There's the updated numbers for the Venezuelan native. 3-2 on Torres, who at age 14 moved to Maracay from Caracas in Venezuela to enroll in an academy that had contacts with Major League scouts. Got sought out by the Cubs, signed as a free agent with Chicago. Nice block by Cal Raleigh to keep the runner at first here.
He is so good. That's how you win a platinum glove right there. You block everything. You have 0 pass balls in the entire year.
High tension, high drama, 5th inning. Tigers trying to keep it moving. Gilbert trying to shut it down. Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Little chopped swing to Naylor. Flip to Gilbert covering, and he limits the damage to just 1 run. Naylor, who committed a crucial error in Game 2, just unable to hold on to it. That would have ended the inning and prevented a run. You see the first base umpire, Chris Guccione, saying there was a juggle. Leads to a run. It is a pinch hitter, Mitch Garver, swinging at the first pitch he sees from the lefty Brant Herter. Out to carry Carpenter and right. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Herter. who's been very efficient in his outings in this series so far. He's going to need to be. You got Robles coming up, and then another lefty and Crawford due up. You would think maybe that would be it for Herter.
Oh, he's definitely done at Crawford. With Montero up, I'm surprised that Dan Wilson went to the pinch hitter so early for Canzone with Garver, because trying to force his hand out. You got 2 pitches, 2 outs. Now he stays out there. He can have a quick inning, get him right back in the dugout.
Robles lines it out to Baez. And indeed, it is Cater Montero, right-hander, loosening up in the bullpen. Here is the lefty Crawford, who's reached base twice.
If you're facing Cal and a few batters, do you want him to bat lefty or righty? I know it's kind of pick your poison, but which one are you thinking if you're him?
I think he's going to go righty because of the guys around Cal. He's going to go to Montero, but it's 5-1.
Crawford sends a fly ball out towards right field. That one's way back and gone. J.P. Crawford, right on cue, delivers. Blasts a home run, and that answers the Tigers' run to make it 5-1.
You just kept the most, like you didn't change your inflection at all in your sentence. You just kept going like it was part of the paragraph.
It was.
Second career postseason home run for Crawford, back to a 4-run lead. Call to the bullpen is sponsored by AT&T, and it is Cater Montero who got the save in the opening game of this series after pitching a scoreless 11th inning. Only allowed a Julio Rodriguez single. It was the tying run on base, but he finished it off for Detroit. Meanwhile, J.P. Crawford, who hit a home run off of Justin Verlander in the postseason a few years ago when he was a member of the Astros, of course, longtime Detroit Tiger. It's his second career bomb in the playoffs and makes it a 4-run game once again, and has stunned these Comerica Park faithful once again. Montero got a Rosarena to ground out in the 11th inning on Saturday night. Ball and a strike.
That was an absolute blast by J.P. Crawford. As soon as it touched his bat, everyone knew that was a homer.
That was the first guy to reach against Brant Herter in this series. He had been excellent in his first 2+ outings until that bomb by Crawford.
You were the first one to know, AJ.
No, JP was first, and I was right behind him.
It was so well timed, though, because the crowd was just getting in it.
2-2.
Sweeper, and this is such an awesome angle. He knew it. Look at that flip. Is that a flip or a drop? But I love he dropped his head. The crowd.
It's like he's disgusted by it.
Rosarena foul tips it into the mitt of Dingler. Montero trying to keep the Tigers going a little bit with some applause, but J.P. Crawford silenced the Motor City. As A.J. Pierzynski likes to say, right into the whomping zone. The reactions as Rowley has gotten some help tonight from the rest of this supporting cast. Logan Gilbert to Colt Keith to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Right back with a 4-run advantage after the J.P. Crawford crush job on a hanging breaking ball to make it 5-1.
Whew. Well, you know, you asked what the whomping zone is. Down and into a lefty, because lefties whomp that ball.
I've never heard that.
Gosh, man, we've been working together for like 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
You're still learning something new. You're still learning something new from AJ. 0-for-2 is Keith tonight.
Now the question is how long do you ride Gilbert?
Sure.
For me, because it just saves your bullpen looks from the Tigers at your bullpen guys. He's only at 77 pitches. How long can he go? Because he's been in control. The last inning, he should have been out of it with no runs.
And he gets the splitter to drop. It's a strikeout against Colt Keith. One away in the 6th. Take a look at our home team profile. It's sponsored by Wayfair and the great Miguel Cabrera threw out the first pitch tonight. The Tigers legend, the future Hall of Famer.
It's well done right there. You can't bounce it. As Derek Jeter told the president years ago, you can't bounce those.
Cannot bounce it.
A perfect strike.
That was a pretty good one. Riley Green takes ball 1.
What is that? That's what I want to know.
Whatever
what
it is, that is
chain?
sick. That is impressive.
Is that his Triple Crown chain trophy thing?
If that's the case, that's even sicker. That's awesome. 1-0 to Green. He's had a rough night tonight. He has struck out on the splitter and on the slider swinging.
We got to get Tom Verducci to find Miggy and get a better look at that chain so we can find out what it is.
I think we need to get Tom Verducci to wear the chain.
That jacket.
I would love to see it.
The jacket Miggy had on was sick too, by the way. That orange satin old starter looking jacket.
Starter jackets are back, man. Green skies one into foul territory. Over is Suarez with a basket style catch for the second out.
You can talk about Gino Suarez all you want about what he does offensively. He is a vibes guy, though. Blowing bubbles, the hair, the way he catches it. If you talk to the Mariners, his heart, when you talk to the Mariners, they are so happy to have him back. Just because he's always smiling, he's always in a good mood. He is a vibes guy.
It's been kind of the themes for Seattle over the course of this season. Good vibes only, and I know that's a common phrase, but that's just one they have happened to embrace, and Suarez a big reason why. Here's Torkelson. Big cut on a fastball. Down to Tom Verducci for more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, AJ. The vibe, one big reason, of course, they had him here before. They like the vibe of Gino in the clubhouse and Josh Naylor, his competitiveness. First time that Jerry DiPoto, the GM, really stepped up at the trade deadline and said, you know what? Let's take a flyer on guys who are eligible for free agency at the end of the year. They typically wanted more control. Not this year, and it has paid off.
Torkelson will take a breaking ball low, and to Jerry DiPoto's credit, listen, there has been some criticism of the Seattle front office and Jerry DiPoto himself for various comments made about level of competitiveness, goals in terms of winning percentage. Rightfully so, rightful criticism, but he has been aggressive at the trade deadline the 2 times that they have gone to the postseason in the last 4 years.
Well, I also think he looks at the American League and says it's wide open. That's a different thing. He says we have the pitching, we have the bullpen, we need to add some pieces offensively, and you go out and get a great first baseman and a great third baseman that can hit you some homers. You also have my MVP in Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez on a heater for the second half. Yes, you go out and make those moves. That's why, because he looks at the AL and says it's vulnerable.
Well, Logan Gilbert is feeling it right now too. Another strikeout, and the vibes are good. They are rolling for Seattle. We're through 6 in Game 3, a 5-1 Mariners lead, much to the chagrin of the Tigers fans here in Detroit. Brzezinski has said this before, the best nickname in all of baseball belongs to Cal Raleigh. The Big Dumper will take a strike. It's coined in a tweet a few years ago by his then Seattle teammate Jared Kelnick in reference to, I guess the most accurate way to say is Cal's large posterior. I think that's the easiest way to put it in a sentence. Big cut there. Cal originally was like, I don't know if I like this nickname very much, but the name was such a hit with fans and the team, and he has kind of since embraced it. They've sold the Big Dumper jerseys. We saw a young infant today being held by her father wearing a Big Dumper t-shirt, which I'm sure there's a lot of baby and diaper jokes that you can make in concert with that. His mom Stephanie was like, I don't know if I like the nickname, but now she's rolling with it. It's become the calling card for Cal. Nice pitch, the knuckle curve by Montero. 3 pitches to get the Big Dumper back to the big dugout.
It's not a small dumper.
as was shown to national television. Montero gets the strikeout. Not an easy thing to do.
Here's that fastball up and in. Cal took a shot. I think we've seen the complete hitter that Cal is this year in the postseason. He hasn't tried to do too much except on pitches he thinks he can drive. No. And that one he took a shot on. That's what you do, right? You take what they give you, and then in the right pitches you take a shot. He just missed it.
Now Julio Rodriguez. And really hasn't been the guys in the heart of the order tonight, as Rodriguez chops it to third off the cut of the grass. Good play by McKinstry. 2 down. It's been the rest of the cast doing a lot of damage. The bottom of the order for Logan Gilbert tonight. He's going over to some of the guys, as he has tossed 85 pitches in his 6 innings of work. And now Matt Brash is loosening up for the 7th. So maybe Dan Wilson is saying, I'm not taking any chances. Gilbert getting the hugs and handshakes, and looks like Wilson is going to go to his normal 7, 8, 9.
No.
In Brash, Spire, and Munoz to try to get through game 3 and take a 2-1 advantage.
I thought they'd run him out there at least. He's 84 pitches.
85, yeah.
85 pitches. I thought they'd try and run him out there and steal another inning, but Dan Wilson's taking no chances, going to his lockdown, Brash, and then he's going to have Spire ready for Carpenter, Keith, and Green. And then he's not messing around, and Munoz, we'll probably see Munoz unless this lead gets even larger.
And the off day yesterday kind of helps reset the bullpens. Both of these bullpens had to go deep, especially in game 1.
No.
I don't know what I think about. I might be shaking off my catcher here on this one. I'm throwing him back out. Of course, I'm probably a little biased, but I'm throwing him back out there for lots of reasons. Who's down there that's nastier than him tonight?
4-pitch walk to Polanco. He's aboard with 2 outs. Huge day of college football coming your way on Saturday. Big noon kickoff right back in Champaign as they get set for #1 Ohio State and #17 Illinois. TCU, K-State, Kansas, and Texas Tech rounded out on Saturday. Big noon Saturday gets you going on Fox. Josh Naylor flips one out towards right field. Carpenter's there, and Montero works around the 2-out. Polanco walk. Stretch time in Detroit. Game is now the best network in America. Matt Brash is on for the 7th inning, and he pours in a strike to Zach McKinstry. McKinstry, Dingler, and Meadows due up in this inning. Brash 48 pitches in the first 2 games of this series, so a much needed off day for him yesterday. He's got 4 strikeouts in the 9 batters he's faced, but remember, he gave up the 2-run double to Spencer Torkelson, which tied game 2 in the 8th inning.
Slider master here. Slider master, Matt Brash. 60% sliders. But wait, you asked, man, why is Logan Gilbert not going back out there? Well, 24, he got an out in the 7th. 17 of 33 starts. So over half of them he pitched into the 7th. This year, only 3 in 25 starts. I don't know if it's the flexor injury or what, but Dan Wilson isn't taking any chances right now.
And I understand, Wayno, where you're coming from on that too. Obviously, your natural pitcher's bias, but it was an interesting point. Like, who else do you feel like is rolling and is as nasty as Logan Gilbert right now? I understand both sides of this.
Well, I'm just looking up hits allowed. You should have probably got out of that 1 inning with no runs.
No.
Sometimes, I think you mentioned this the other day, AJ, when you take out that starting pitcher, the other side, they breathe a big sigh of relief because you didn't have a chance against the starter.
Back up the middle, McKinstry to the shortstop, Crawford. And there's one away here in the 7th. The Tigers are going to need a late inning explosion like we saw in the clinching game in Cleveland in the wild card series, where they finally busted out. That's the only game we've really seen A.J. Hinch's offense look like it did closer to the first half of the season.
You're right, but who's it going to be? Who's going to step up for these Tigers, get a big hit, or drive in that run when they have the opportunity? First, they got to get people on base to do that, which we haven't seen either. They've had some chances, but other than Zach McKinstry in game 1, they got the 2-out hit. They really haven't gotten that hit.
Just 4 hits tonight against Logan Gilbert. Hit a batter as well. Did not record a walk, struck out 7. A really impressive performance by Gilbert tonight in what was his second career postseason start. He's in line for the win.
No.
You're still guaranteed an at-bat if you're Carpenter. But Keith and Green are not guaranteed an at-bat right now, so you got to get some guys on base to make sure that some of these other big-name hitters at the top of the lineup get a chance. Or top half of the order. A bouncer again to Crawford. He retires Dingler. Two down here in the 7th. I'll beg your pardon. I miscounted. That's on me. That's on me. Sorry about that. Remember when you write the wrong thing down in your scorebook? You're like, oh, okay, I got this. I got this. Nope, I screwed it up.
Yeah, the middle of the order is going to get another chance.
Yeah, one more chance. Yep.
I was counting along with you, though.
I appreciate that, buddy.
One of the strangest things I used to always do when I played was I would try to figure out when certain guys were coming up, especially myself. So I would always know, all right, if they let off, one guy gets on, they're up in 2 innings. So it was always running through my head, especially the big guys. All right, well, Riley Green, he was the second out in the 6th. So if 2 guys get on, he'll come up in the 8th. Right? It was weird.
You know what happened? I put the guys in the 8th inning. You know how you put it in the wrong box?
Oh, yeah.
I put them in the 8th, and I was like, oh, yeah, they're set. But a 1-2-3 inning worked out of the bullpen by Brash. And now just 6 more outs remain for Detroit's offense. Game summary is sponsored by Chipotle. Near 3-hour rain delay. Logan Gilbert came out of it looking strong. 6 innings of just 1-run ball. Suarez and Crawford each have a solo home run in this game. Mariners scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. They pushed Flaherty out in the 4th inning. And then the Crawford home run in the 6th to make it 5-1. Cater Montero to Eugenio Suarez for a strike to start off the top half of the 8th inning.
Ball in.
1-1 on Suarez, who has walked, homered, and struck out tonight. Been a rough go for the Tigers. Their first home game in over 2 weeks. And Suarez chops one to the left side, grabbed by Baez. Low throw, dug out by Torkelson, 1 down. Luke Raley will pinch hit here for Garver, who pinch hit for Canzone earlier. Raley, who pinch hit in game 1 and then was a pinch runner in game 2, comes in off the bench. There's a strike. Mariners came out and scored first. They've scored first in all 3 of the games of this series. They've out-homered the Tigers tonight. And that's usually a good omen come postseason time. This playoffs, the teams that score first are 12-7 in the first 19 games. Teams that out-homer their opponents are 10-2 so far in the postseason. That has been a pretty common trend. I got a piece of Raley on the leg, so he gets aboard with 1 down to the 8th.
Well, and a bigger stat for the Mariners. They hit 2+ homers. They were 45-19 in the regular season, and they won game 2 with 2 homers from Polanco, so 46-19. And right now they have 2 homers, so they could go to 47-19 if they hit 2+ homers.
So 1 on and 1 out for Victor Robles on the corner.
What do you think about this hit by pitch? Looked like he might have stuck his knee into it just a little bit. Didn't move it.
You can't control your back leg, Wayno. Quit begging.
Okay, all right.
What's he supposed to do?
Well, I see that college baseball there. He'd be out.
We got ice.
Just goes, nice job, Luke. That's what the dugout's saying right now. Montero's 0-2 to Robles. Hit out towards right field. Carpenter to his right and reaches up and drops the ball. It's been that type of night in Detroit. Raley is gunning for third. Into second base. Cruising in is Robles. And there are two in scoring position with one out. That absolutely should have been caught by Kerry Carpenter.
Well, he got there. He should have had it. He just ticks off his glove. And like you said, it's just been kind of that night for the Tigers in Detroit tonight.
Only 3 errors during the regular campaign for Carpenter. Only the second error in the 6 playoff games for Detroit so far in 2025. Now here is Crawford. The infield has to come in to prevent any more runs from coming home. The ball 1 to J.P. Crawford. Two and 0. Mariners won their first AL West championship in 24 years this year. That was the last year, 2001. They went to the ALCS. Tigers in their second straight division series. Their last ALCS in 2013. Mariners had to lock it down in September. They had an excellent final month. They won 17 of their last 21 games. Tigers had that tough September where they ended up giving up the division to Cleveland. Crawford fouls it. It's 3-1. And the green light there.
AJ, talk me through what a hitter's thinking right here. Infield in.
Well, you want to get a good pitch, first of all. You want to try to get a pitch up that you can drive. And 3-0, I love the green light because you're going to be aggressive. Now here you're thinking, all right, he's probably going to throw me something soft. Righty on deck, load the bases. And that's why he got beat right there with the 96, because he's thinking the same thing. Because you always in the back of your mind as a hitter, you look over there, you say, all right, Randy's on deck, he's righty, there's a right-handed pitcher. They want to set up the double play to get out of it with one pitch. But he was good enough to foul it off.
You're thinking all that when you're in the box.
All that happens. It happens quick. But all that ran through my head.
Popped up out towards left field. Green's got it. Raley's off from third, and he will score. It is 6-1 Seattle. Largest lead of the night for the Mariners.
Big run, too. Takes it away from being one swing of the bat, tying a game. I hear managers talk about that all the time, about you're still one swing away when you're down 4, when you're down 5. You're down 5, it just complicates things. Dusty Baker used to call it slam range.
As soon as you get past a 4-run lead, a grand slam can no longer tie it. Back to the top, Ana Rosarena for Seattle. Runner takes off from second base. The throw down from Dingler in time. Nice tag applied by McKinstry. Robles is called out. Waiting to see if there was any thought to a challenge from the Seattle dugout. Does not look like it for the moment. Robles taken off there with the 5-run advantage. He gets cut down by Dingler, and that takes us to the end of the inning. Got him the mitt, the oven mitt, right into the glove of McKinstry. Dingler, an excellent defensive catcher with a nice throw. At Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Tigers will bring Baez to the plate to start this bottom of the 8th inning against Edward Bazardo. Can they generate some power? Thinking of Bill Paxton a little bit right now, won't I? I know that's not a Bill Paxton quote. I'm just thinking of Independence Day. Great speech.
Wow.
By the president, Bill Paxton, in Independence Day. But they're going to need some power. We talked about it all night. The Tigers need to find some slug Mariners pitching staff has shut them down. Torres had the double in the 3rd inning. That's the only extra base hit out of the 4 hits that Detroit has tonight. You'll still get Keith, Green, and Torkelson with an at-bat in this game. I'm positive of that now.
But you got to get somebody on base in front of those guys to make it matter.
And called strike 3. Baez watches a fastball on the outside corner and had some words for John Tumpane afterwards. Bizzardo gets the K.
Perfect pitch, Ueno.
Yeah, it was.
Just perfect, and he brings it back. Baez doesn't like it, but that's a perfect pitch on the outside corner that just runs back.
There's Carpenter, who committed the 2nd Tiger error of the night in the last inning. Of the 6 runs that Seattle has scored, 2 of them have been unearned thanks to those 2 errors. Quickly, nothing ensued. Bizzardo is coming out throwing strikes. And Carpenter goes down swinging on a fastball. Quickly 2 down to the 8th. You can make your voice heard like these Detroit fans are right now. Vote now to select the 2025 All-MLB team presented by MGM Rewards. Your chance to be a part of history and honor this season's top performers. Terms and conditions apply. See MLB.com/AllMLB for details. Here's Gleyber Torres. He had 2 of the 3 Tigers hits in the first 3 innings. Only 1 for Detroit since. And this one skied out towards right field. Rodriguez and Robles are there. It'll be Robles to make the catch to finish off a 1-2-3 inning, albeit eventful on the final out. Randy Arozarena takes a strike to start off the 9th inning from Brennan Hanafy, who makes his 2025 playoff debut. Last pitched on September the 11th. And Arozarena slashes one down the first base line fair. Helmet flies off as Carpenter flags it down. And it's a leadoff double in the 9th for Arozarena.
Well, that's why if you're Victor Robles, I don't know what he was doing trying to steal 3rd. I get you're trying to be aggressive, but that could have possibly been another run right there with the top of your order coming up. You got all the momentum in the world. Let's just let Randy Arozarena hit this double down the right field line and drop me in.
His 2nd hit of the night, his 3rd of the series. He had an RBI back in the 3rd as well. Now Cal Raleigh. Walk and a run scoring base hit this evening in 4 trips. Son of a college coach, his dad Todd, former head coach at Tennessee, the Vols baseball team. His dad was a collegiate catcher at Western Carolina in Cullowhee. That's where Cal is from. He sends one the other way. Well struck ball deep left field and gone. Raleigh's first of the playoffs, and it's 8-1 Seattle. They are feeling it. Seattle in control in Game 3 in Detroit. Third Mariner home run of the night, and here's Rodriguez.
Well, 60 homers in the regular season, first one in the postseason. And the one thing the Tigers said, we have to keep him in the park. 3 home runs tonight is not the recipe for the Tigers.
Rodriguez out to Meadows in right center. First out of the ninth. Back to the home run.
Is that fastball up and away?
Yeah.
Fastball up and away, and Cal just didn't try to do anything too much, just took it with him. Oh, great pick right there.
He literally has a shirt that says dump here.
Oh my word.
And he got the home run on a bounce.
For 61.
For number 61.
No way.
Could not have been scripted better.
That's AI.
That is digitally placed by our crew somehow.
Just a great piece of hitting, though. Didn't try to do too much. Didn't try to pull it. Just drove it to left field. Took it with it.
Polanco skies one out to Meadows in center. 2 down. The only 60 home run hitters in a single season. McGuire did it twice, Sosa 3 times. But Cal Raleigh's the only American leaguer not to wear a Yankee uniform to get to 60. His second career playoff home run. He had one in the 2022 postseason run.
I'm still blown away by the fan catching that with dump here 61 shirt on. It's a great pick, by the way.
So he's got the 61 shirt. He's got a 62 shirt.
That's pretty awesome.
That's just impressive preparation. Is that guy a Boy Scout at some point too?
What are the odds of that?
I don't know. StatCast powered by Google Cloud will tell you in moments. 3 pop-outs. He's got the shirt on. That's incredible. To the bottom of the ninth we go. He got the 61st home run of the year between the regular season and playoffs. Hit by Cal Raleigh on a bounce.
We got to get an interviewer over there. We got to get a microphone, interview this guy.
We only got 3 outs to try to get there. Tom Verducci's ready to sprint. But Caleb Ferguson's ready to throw the ninth. These last couple of innings for Seattle's offense too, guys. They tacked on 3 runs, and you would think that probably saved the back end of their bullpen with Munoz tonight.
Absolutely.
And Spire.
Absolutely. When it goes from 5-1 to 8-1, it saves Spire, it saves Munoz, and they get to use some other guys. But now the Tigers are going to get some guys some at bats. Jake Rogers, excuse me. Pinch hitting. They have another pinch hitter on deck. I think it's Jemai Jones. So A.J. Hinch is also kind of emptying his bench.
Ball and a strike from Ferguson to Rogers. Jake, the backup catcher to Dylan Dingler. He was splitting time early in the year, but had an oblique injury in April, so he ended up missing about a month and a half. And by that point, Dingler had established himself as the top catcher on the roster. Originally drafted by the Astros, was traded to Detroit in the deal that sent Justin Verlander from Detroit to Houston. And he bangs the ball to the right side. A base hit for Jake Rogers. He's aboard to start the bottom of the ninth. A little life for Detroit down 7. We have a quick word from our friends at Capital One.
With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Rogers is aboard. Here's Jemai Jones, who makes his second appearance of the series after he was a pinch hitter in Game 1. Also pinch hit for Riley Green in the wild card series in Cleveland. He'll take ball 1.
If you're the Tigers, yes, you'd love to score 8 runs and win this game. But more importantly, you want to get Munoz up and maybe get him into this game. So you need to get a couple runners on just to put some pressure on Dan Wilson and the Mariners. Make him at least get up. Even if he doesn't get in the game, put a little fear into him. because that does add up. If he has to get up and doesn't, even if he doesn't get in the game, just make him work.
I think now it's just a weather-related
He got
issue.
cold.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little chilly out there. Jones will take the ball. It's 3-0, and again, Seattle's in control of this game, but every pitch in the postseason still matters because they compound over the course of a best-of-5 or a best-of-7 series. And Jahmai Jones backs up Jake Rogers off the bench. A couple of base runners against Ferguson. And now Torkelson. And now you get Munoz up in the bullpen if you're Seattle, at least to have to get up and stir a little bit.
He calls down. He says, play a little light catch. Don't get too hot. Just play a little light catch. Get your body moving a little bit. Certainly don't get after it just yet, though.
How long does that usually go? So you got a 7-run lead, 2 on, nobody out. Kind of what area, if you're a pitcher, you're like, all right, maybe I should start getting ready, like really getting ready now?
I think once this, if a couple of these runs push across, then you got to start getting ready.
Okay.
That on deck batter becomes a save situation.
Okay.
You know, regular season, that's when they're in the game, but that's probably going to happen before that in this situation.
All right, here's Torkelson.
I think one more batter gets on, he's letting it rip.
Yeah.
You don't want any momentum to be built for the Tigers. You don't want anything. You want to shut this game down as quick as possible. You see Dan Wilson. That's why managers have gray hair. When do I bring in my closer? When do I bring in my closer? And he's letting it rip.
Forced him to get up and start throwing.
There he goes.
There's a strike. Heard a little life now from this remaining Detroit crowd. The Mariners bullpen had retired 10 consecutive. Well, Gilbert and the bullpen had combined to retire 10 consecutive Tigers until the hit by Rogers off the bench to start this inning. And now Torkelson is ahead, 3 balls and a strike.
Gilbert's like, all right, that's enough.
Strike 2. Payoff pitch down the right field line. That's a fair ball for Torkelson. Rogers will score. Jahmai Jones runs through, and he will score. The Tigers a little life here in the 9th inning, and Torkelson adds on 2 more RBIs. He's driven in 6 in the postseason now. As Torkelson, it's an 8-3 ball game, and Munoz might be a little closer to coming in.
It's another hitter just taking it where it's pitched. Up, out over the zone. And those balls that are up, out like that gives the hitter a chance to drive it. If it's down and out, it's really tough to do that.
Pinch hitter is Andy Ibanez, one of the best pinch hitters in baseball. Had 12 pinch hits this season to lead the club and to lead the major leagues.
This is it for Ferguson. There's no way he gets past Ibanez, especially if he gets on, obviously.
Yeah.
You love the confidence that Dan Wilson has in Ferguson, but you just don't want to give the Tigers any momentum at all. Just step on them.
Ibanez takes outside.
For Detroit, good to see a couple of guys cross the plate if you're that team over there. Even if it's too little too late. Get a little momentum, like you said.
3-1 on Ibanez.
And the walks aren't helping. Yes, you give up a couple hits, but you can't walk the hitters and you can't fall behind. That's what drives managers crazy. Forget the hits. You give up hits, the walks.
Ibanez gets it through. Base hit. Here comes Torkelson. He will score. The Tigers aren't done yet. Still nobody out in the ninth. Will Vest, his biggest fan, Vest guy, out at Comerica. He's into it. And these remaining Tigers fans are into it as well, as Senor Smoke Andres Munoz is going to have to come into this game. A little life at Comerica. It's 8-4. A rough go for Caleb Ferguson out of the Seattle pen. Came in with a comfortable 7-run lead, but has not recorded an out. 3 have scored. Let's take a look at StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Seattle got the big advantage with some help from 3 big flies.
This is what they do. They are really good at hitting homers. We've mentioned their numbers when they hit 2+ homers, but when they hit 3, they're even better. 28 and 6, and those were 3 absolute blasts.
So now Andres Munoz, who was not expecting to pitch, I imagine, about an inning ago, is trying to come in to finish it off. He still has to record 3 outs. He pours in a slider strike to Dylan Dingler. Munoz 25 pitches in game 1 when he pitched the 9th in a game that went to extras. 14 pitches to get the save in game 2 with a 1-run lead.
No. And this is all you can ask for if you're the Tigers. You made them get their guy up and get him in the game. You might, again, the chances of coming back and winning this game when you're down 7 in the 9th aren't high. But this is, you got to shoot for moral victories at this point. No. That add up to hopefully win and get him, win tomorrow, get to 5, and you get to see Munoz maybe 2 more times.
A.J. Hinch almost emptied out his whole bench in this inning, and the guys off the bench all delivered. Dingler skies one out to left. Rosarena waiting, and he's got the seemingly elusive first out of this 9th inning. Ibanez goes back to first. Used Rogers to pinch hit for Keith. He got a single. Used Jones to pinch hit for Green. He walked. Torkelson drove them both in with a double. Used Ibanez, a great pinch hitter, to come in for McKinstry. He drove in a run. Dingler flies out. Now here's Parker Meadows. Strike 1 from Munoz.
Well, barring what would be, I would have to say, if they come back, the greatest comeback in playoff history, down 7 runs. This will be their 8th straight loss at Comerica for the Tigers. They haven't won at home since September 6th. Now, granted, they were on the road for a while, but that's over a month ago, Adam, since they've won a home game.
Remember, this was such a rough final month. Big discussion about the Tigers, the 14-game lead on the division in July. That ended up slipping away in September when they had a near double-digit lead to start that month. A.J. Hinch, when his team won that wild card series in Cleveland, said, hey, that's the ultimate reset button. Big cut, and it's 1-2. Got a piece. Now Raleigh shaking out that right hand. Kind of clipped him off the foul, off the ground. You can see Cal's hand may have been in the path of that bounce.
He is so good back there, though. It's so quiet. It's so fun to watch. My favorite part is he catches every day. He gets dinged up. 60 homers. Well, 61 now if you count that guy out in left center.
Yep.
But it's amazing the beating you take as a catcher, and to hit 60+ home runs is insane.
Down the right field line, Naylor makes the catch, doubles it off, and that's the ball game. Josh Naylor on a frozen rope, snared it, stepped on the bag, and finishes off game 3. And the Mariners are one step away from the LCS. A spirited ninth inning comeback from the Tigers bench. But the Mariners can dance to a Game 3 victory and a 2-1 lead in this American League Division Series.
What a job by Logan Gilbert. Absolutely dominant, and then the 3 homers from the Mariners. That's the game. 3 homers and starting pitching.
Yeah, starting pitching was outstanding. I think if you're the Tigers right now, you just have to take solace that you put something together finally offensively in that last inning, and hopefully it builds toward tomorrow.
Josh Naylor, who's had an emotional last 48 hours in preparation for his seemingly growing family, makes a great play to end the game and break some more Tigers fans' hearts tonight in Detroit. And Seattle wins on the road in Game 3, and they've got the 2-1 series advantage as Logan Gilbert finishes off the victory. 6 strong innings, just 4 hits scattered, 1 run, no walks, and a 7 strikeout performance in his second career playoff start.
I think this was right here maybe the best I've seen his stuff maybe ever. His fastball was electric. His slider was the best I've ever seen it. And of course his split that he didn't have to overuse.
And Logan Gilbert is with our Tom Bertucci.
Logan, what a gem. 6 innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts. What was your game plan coming in, and how happy are you with how you executed it?
I mean, first off, I got to say glory to God. He's blessed me and this team so much. From a game plan standpoint, I was trying to be aggressive. I didn't get a ton of first pitch strikes, but after that, the slider felt really good, and that was in the zone quite a bit. Just try to make them put it in play, and good things happen.
This pitching staff, you've seen it all year. In 3 games in this series, the starters allowing only 3 runs, 18 strikeouts. What makes this staff so special?
I think we have a lot of different looks on the team. First off, Curb setting the tone and Castillo doing what he does, and I'm just trying to follow suit with those guys. Our bullpen's been nails all year, so you give the ball to them, feels like there's a good chance to win.
And finally, Logan, tomorrow the team will come to the ballpark 1 win away from playing for the American League pennant. Tell me how you think this team will handle that opportunity straight ahead.
It's pretty cool. It's awesome to hear that and to be in that position, but we're a long ways away. 9 innings is a long way, so love the momentum we have right now, but we got to find a way to take it. Hopefully win it in 4. It'd be awesome to win in Seattle, but I don't want to take any chances, so I hope we come out tomorrow and win it.
Great game. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you.
Well, we've got more playoff baseball right now on FS1. Blue Jays are taking on the Yankees in the Bronx in Game 3. If the Blue Jays win tonight, we will have Game 4 at 7 Eastern. If the Yankees win tonight, we will be with you at 3 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. For Adam Wainwright, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Bertucci, the wonderful women and men of our Fox Sports crew, Adam Amin saying good night from Detroit. The Tigers with an 8-4 win.
God bless you. Double pro. I'm on this sound fairly no. DJ Softy man. I'm on you be. Idiot no. Love what you give to me. It's sweet past you got cane. I not go like you dey hide me past cocaine. See the way she just the wine. She the one pass up piano do. I swear to God, now she did do me juju. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you go make me go insane. Comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Loki me ya bobo no be reisa ya comfort ya comfort your mama no mosu ya comfort Loki me ya bobo no be reisa my baby too fine no na so she dey beautiful. Anytime I see her face, you, I go just tell a fool. because of you, my guys, then they call me big fool. Big fool, man. See the way she soft to you, she be like fufu. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you gon' make me go insane. Comforting, comforting, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Hey, yeah, comfort you reloki me. Hey, yeah, combo no be reisa. Hey, yeah, comforting, comforting, yeah. Hey, yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Hey, yeah, comfort you reloki me. Hey, yeah, combo no be reisa.
Double prop.
Yeah, yeah. God bless you, know. I'm a little yeah. Double pull on the missing. Yeah, yeah. DJ Safety, man. I see you. I'm a little yeah.
Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом, присутствие кончается, и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом, сенатору скобрезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор, а мертвеца другому безобразию скрежещущий несет таксомотор. Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, и в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом,
хотят. Много знаю, слишком много думаю с детства.